G'day football fans and welcome back to episode 13 of Brentford 2 Big Time. Today it is the start of our third full season in charge. I struggle with this every episode. I don't know why it is so incredibly difficult to work out how long this series has been going. It should be much simpler than it really turns out being. Today we are taking on Nottingham Forrest at home at the Brentford Community Stadium, whatever it's called in real life, not in the game. Of course, being the start of the season, there has been a couple of transfers. It might be underwhelming, but there's a bit of other news that's possibly more exciting. We'll start with that. Before we get into it, make sure you do leave us that like down below, subscribe if you're new around here, comment what you think of the video, all that sort of beautiful, gorgeous stuff. Let's get into it. Now, the first bit of news, before we get into the transfers, last video, it was, up in the air as to where in Europe we'd fall. I think at the end of the season it was weird. It said in an email item that we had qualified for the Europa League, but then our spot on the league table said that we had qualified for the Conference League. It's the Champions League. We have qualified for the Champions League. If we go to the Premier League and look at last season, I think we should just ignore that Tottenham won that and just not ever think about it again. But 6 teams have qualified for the Champions League. 6 teams. Very bizarre. So it is the first year, I believe, of the league phase of the Champions League. So no longer the 8 groups of 4, so 32 teams, and then round of 16, so on and so on. Going on to the league phase this year, so we'll play 8 fixtures all the way through to January. And we're in it. We've got our hat in it. Whether we win it or not, yet to be determined, let's say. But we're in the Champions League already. Now, qualifying for Europe has meant we have had to trim the squad somewhat due to, we only have one player trained by the club, Enrico Henry, so we're going to struggle to make a 25-man squad. The first of 3, I'd say, casualties of this is Mads Bidstrup. He has gone. Him leaving was less so, as a result of needing to fill those squad requirements and more wanting to be better and wanting to get a better player, basically. So he has ended up at Freiburg. I think he's the most expensive outgoing. If we look here, he joined Brentford in 2020 for 800,000. We ended up selling him for 16.25. I think that actually can go up potentially. Yeah, so potential cost of 20.5, which I'll take that. That's fine. Look, he was never really... he did play a lot of football last season, but a lot of those, would have been off the bench. If you see here, he's played 17 matches off the bench in the Premier League, so a lot of bench appearances. Never really was too convinced by the fella, but, to make 16 million off a player that was sort of, third choice in midfield at least, I don't know. I'm definitely fine with that. The next outgoing is Lloyd Kelly. He had come to us throughout last season, and firstly, he complained about not playing enough, and which is probably justified, but at the end of the day, we just didn't really need him. He complained about not playing enough, and then he told us that he wasn't going to sign a new contract, so with his contract expiring at the end of this current season, we had to cash in on him, basically. So, off to Villarreal, he has gone. We bought him for 13 million, he's gone for 9, ending up in 10. I don't know what the story is there, but it was a player exchange. Who did I player exchange for him? I don't remember that. It was probably some guy from the reserves. I don't remember. But he's gone to Villarreal. Good luck to him. Godspeed. All that stuff. Yeah, whatever. See you, mate. The last outgoing is Odilon Kasunu. He didn't really make the grade last season. He did play a little bit of football. He came in as sort of... Look, he came in with a bit of a reputation or a bit of, a thought of him having some potential. And you can see that he does have some good defensive stats, but I think with where we're wanting to take the club, we need to get someone a bit better than him, and we haven't necessarily done that. We just don't need him, and he's definitely a casualty of the squad requirements for the Champions League. So it was either try and cash in on him or let him sit here and become unhappy because he doesn't get selected for the Champions League group stage. So I think I sort of took the decision there. So after just the one season, we made a 6 million profit on him, which I'll absolutely take that. So we have ended up making close to 40 million, if not a bit more than 40 million, throughout this transfer window in just those 3 players. So I'm pretty content with that. We then turn to the incomings, and 2 of them, there's 4 in total. One of them is a youth player that maybe down the track we might see. Two of them, two of the four are then, look, they were free transfers. They might end up playing. We'll see. And then there's one exciting one, or one that I'm excited about anyway, but not immediately. Let's get to it. I'll start with the free transfers, which is American Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun. So he is this season in real life on loan with Will Still in Reims, having an absolute bonza season. Just absolutely killing the game. His contract ran out at Arsenal, so he was a free transfer. I just thought, look, he's worth a punt. I mean, we did struggle last season with a bit of depth up front. I mean, we had 16 injuries basically with our forward players always out. So having a player who can play left, right, striker, why not? Basically, he was a free transfer. He has some quality. He's 24, so he can improve a bit. Not necessarily, looking to depend on him for being the next big thing. But he's a free transfer and he counts as homegrown in the nation. So, I mean, why not? Basically, not much else to it, I guess. So mostly I'd say he'll play. Every time I record I get allergies. I think it might be the cover thing. I don't know, man. So my nose is in. Anyway, I think he'll mostly play as a striker, perhaps giving Ivan Toney more of a break this season than he had last season with Donyell Marlin being awful. But we'll see, basically. And with many more fixtures now coming in with the 8 Champions League games. Look, it'll be tough. I don't think the Champions League has been drawn yet, so I can't show you who we've got. But I imagine next video we'll know. So yeah, not incredibly excited about him. He's fine. The next one's a bit more exciting, I think. It is 21-year-old English attacking midfielder. He can play left, he can play right, he can play through the centre, attacking midfield or central midfield. It is Omari Hutchinson from Chelsea. His contract ran out at Chelsea, and I thought, look, he looks quite decent for a 21-year-old. He probably, has some room for improvement, especially physically. It looks a bit dodgy. Decent pace, though, I guess. But I think really we're looking for him to get a loan out because that was part of the promises for getting him to sign for the club for free. So really, with him, he's fulfilling a squad spot as an Englishman, but at the same time, if he leaves, I'm fine with that. It doesn't really matter, does it? I think he will miss out on the Champions League squad purely because he's not that great yet, basically. So, a bit of a punt, and hopefully that he can fulfill some of this potential that it says that he has, and we can hopefully make a bit of a profit on him in due time, or we get a great player. We'll see which one comes first. Now, the next one, possibly the least exciting immediately, especially because he's gone back on loan to his parent club. But we managed to convince a young player from Brazil to sign for the club. That's pretty exciting, right? It is 18-year-old centre-half Wellington Jose. He's Brazilian. He's on loan back at wherever he is, Botafogo? I don't know what it would be. BTF. Is Botafogo a real club, or did I just make that up? He looks quite good for an 18-year-old, especially if you look at his mentals. Those are quite good mentals for an 18-year-old to have, especially in all of the key statistics for a central defender. Looks like he could quite possibly play as the halfback ahead of the centre defenders a little bit, but I guess we'll have to see when he comes in. He's on loan till the end of the season, however long that goes in Brazil. Maybe the end of this year he'll return. I can't remember, to be completely honest with you, but look, he looks okay. I'm not super excited or anything, but it says he's worth a pretty penny, much more than we paid for him, which was £2 million, it says here. So, if he turns out to be good, I'm a genius. If he turns out to get us more than £2 million, I'm a genius. So it's looking good. Now, onto the only actual exciting, actual first team player that we've signed. Look, he's already injured, It is 25-year-old Dutch central midfielder, former Ajax youth product, of course, Jurgen Ekkelenkamp. He just looks brilliant. I mean, I didn't expect him to be this good. I love Ajax football. Behind me on this bookshelf somewhere is Johan Cruyff's autobiography that I've read. I subscribe to their YouTube channel. I watch a lot of their highlights. I'm a huge fan of Ajax, had watched him for a number of years, thought he looked decent, but I thought Donny van de Beek looked much better than him. Anyway, but looking at him here, brilliant. Looks absolutely brilliant. He came in and sprained some knee ligaments straight away, which is less than ideal. But he's here for a number of years. He's got a 5-year contract. He'll be here for a while. And look, he's going to basically challenge Daichi Kamada. Also give us an option to play with 2 central midfielders that want to go forward. So instead of having like Daichi Kamada and then Janelt next to him, or Daichi Kamada and Norgard next to him with a holder behind them, it then turns into having just one holder and 2 midfielders who want to bomb on and, you know, get forward through Jurgen and Daichi Kamada, and even Matthias Jensen on the last year of his deal, which is less exciting. Anyway, I'm going to go to the squad planner screen now, show you what the sort of makeup of the squad is looking like, so that you get an idea of where we're at for this season. So this is what the sort of depth of the squad looks like at this point. The other player that I didn't actually mention is Mads Bech Sorensen. He has been on loan for the last couple of seasons. Let's go here. You can see he's gone on loan a couple of times to Copenhagen and Betis last season, where he played quite well, an average rating of 7.05. So he's come back in. Looking at him, 20 long throws is very attractive. He is left-sided, meaning we've got too many left-sided centre-backs, but that's fine. I don't care. He looks quite good. He's 26. You know, whatever. If he left, I wouldn't really care. Anyway, it's because he's... Yeah, whatever. But at the same time, if... Like, Ethan Pinnock's contract runs out this season, so I probably won't renew that, and Mads Bech Sorensen can go across to there, and then Ben Godfrey, in theory, back to centre. Anyway, Albin Font and Kanaseki are still the 2 goalkeeping options. The left-sided defenders at this stage, whatever. Obviously, there's lots of movement across here. Anyway, Evan Ndika and Ethan Pinnock are Ethan Rupert Pinnock are the 2 left-siders there. Then Christopher Vassbach. Good name. Mads. Okay, just says Mads Bech Sorensen. Ahead of them on the right side of defence here, I've got Nico Williams and Mads Roslev, same as last season. We had a couple of offers for Roslev, which I did accept, and I was fine with him leaving. I'd just find someone else to take his place, I guess. But he rejected contracts. I think it was Nottingham Forrest, maybe. Then on the left-hand side, of course, Henry and Hickey, the 2 H's, the good 2 bloke guys. Anyway, they're fine. Rico Henry's here to stay because he's trained by the club and I need him desperately. As for the halfback spot, I've got Ben Godfrey and Vitaly Janelt there. Obviously, Godfrey can slot back into centre back. He can slot out right. Obviously, this is very fluid, and like Hickey can play on both sides. Like, I'm just doing it for depth, like to show you the depth that we have. And then ahead of them is Norgard and Jensen as the advanced playmakers. Again, fluid. They can all both play back here in the halfback role. Norgard can even play centre back. Like, it is what it is. The bizarre then is Kamada and Ekkelenkamp. Again, they can play both roles. Anyway, the left hand side we've got Damsgaard and Cherky, and then right hand side we've got Aliso Mbuemo, and look, Hutchinson is there. He can play wherever he wants. He'll play wherever I dang tell him to play, and he should be happy that he's getting that time. Up front we've got Ivan Toney, Daniel Marlin, and Florian Balogun. What is it? Follerin? Call yourself Jerry! How much easier would Jerry Balogun be? Jesus, mate. Yeah, same people as last year. Just now we've got Follerin, Balogun to, you know, pick up scraps and when people are injured, be there, basically. Now, for the registration, if we go here to registration and then go to Champions League, if I go auto select, they try to leave out Norgard, which is not happening because he's our captain. So I would take out Omari Hutchinson because he's in theory going out on loan anyway. You know, that does then mean that Matthias Jensen stays out. So we'll see how that goes, basically. As soon as I hit, you know, confirm selection, I'm probably going to get an inbox item saying that he's upset. Like, I just don't really see another option. I don't see someone else that makes more sense while keeping the squad, you know, requirements as they are. Because I don't really think I can... Like, if I dropped him, can I do that? Maybe I dropped Balogun out. Does that make more sense? Let me know what you reckon. Let me know who should sit out of the group, the Champions League squad registration, because really 2 people need to miss out because we just don't have people trained by the club, because the Brentford Academy is absolutely shocking. Like, I searched it and I think there's like 1 centre-back who may be Premier League quality, but it's not good enough. That's the main problem, but we'll work on it. Or leave the club. We'll see. Anyway, I've talked way too much. Let's get to the game. Today we're taking on... what did I say? Who did I say we're taking on? We're taking on Nottingham Forrest. Eckland Camp out, of course. Let's get ready. Let's do it. It's a brand new season. We've got to hopefully better what we did last season in finishing 6th, which is very exciting. I'm so excited to be in Europe, to be in the Champions League already. It's very, very exciting. Lineup that it's suggesting is pretty good. I mean, I don't really have too many complaints about that, except I'd like one of our actual right wingers to be on. Where is... Oh, Mbermo's got a fitness test. Elise's fitness... Well, this is rough. Yeah. Look, that's probably fine. Let's just take him off the bench because we don't need a keeper on the bench. Keepers never get injured or red card. As I'm saying that, I feel like it's going to happen, but this is what we're going with. Kamada can be the attacking, the Mazzala with an advanced playmaker now next to him. So we're trying to be a bit more offensive. We'll see how we get on. If we get screwed defensively, I'll just change it back. So it is Lafont in goals, Ayer and Beck Sorensen as the centre halves. Rico Henry and Nico Williams. Rico and Nico out wide. Janelt is the half-back with Norgard and Kamada ahead of him. Shirky, Damsgaard on the wings with Tony up front. Can't go wrong. In theory, we do have a slightly smaller squad than last season. I think we have a squad of 24 now instead of 25 that we had last season. And that 24 now includes like Amari Hutchinson, who, may not get that much time. Balogun, who won't get that much time. That sort of thing. Like, we're slowly whittling it away and getting to the players we actually want to use lots. Like Ayer, if we can keep him around. Lafont, if we can keep him around. Like even Janelt, Henry, Shirky, Damsgaard. Building a real good core of a squad, except that Shirky does not have a good work rate. Anyway, moving on. Let's get through the game. I've talked way too much. I've already been recording for 25 minutes, so I don't know how long the video would have gone because I faffed around a bunch and sneezed a lot because that's just what happens apparently. All right, into the season. As far as expectations for this season, the board are still happy with just top half finishes, which, to be fair to them, that would probably be a pretty good result. After, qualifying for Europe as a bit of a shock last year and, outperforming the expectations and outperforming, how good we are, maybe, I'd be pretty happy with top half. And with the added, 9 or 8 or 9 fixtures or whatever it is, the group stage fixtures for the new Champions League format, it's going to be a bit more difficult, and I'm not necessarily expecting that we do anything in the Champions League. I just want us to get there and play some football, compete, see what we can do, and at the end of the day, securing a good Premier League finish again is the priority. So if we can get a highlight after 20 seconds, Damsgaard on the left, back to Rico Henry, back to Janelt at the edge of the box with an effort. Was that a save or I don't know. It was a big save, I think. And it's now a corner. Just to, again, be competitive, get good results, things like that. I'm not expecting, to win the league this season or anything like that. I'm expecting to, compete, be competitive again, and hopefully compete for Europe again. I mean, that would be brilliant to be back up there again. Whether it happens or not, I guess we're yet to see. You'll have to just keep tuning in to find out, though. Good start here. We're getting good possession. I am curious to see how this pass map develops this season. Another corner chance here. Janelt with the header, just over the bar. All right, not too interesting. The pass map, just because I have changed that midfield role, so the advanced playmaker used to be, I think it was a deep lying playmaker on defend, and it's now an advanced playmaker with the ball there to Tony, quite possibly offside. I mean, I'd love it if he wasn't, because it would show that the advanced playmaker that I was literally talking about is coming in handy already. He is offside. All right, well, it is what it is. it was Norgard showing that he can play in that role. Damsgaard winning the ball high up, back to Norgard, lobbed a ball over the top. It was pretty damn close, but he probably was offside. That's fine. Yeah, looking to see how it develops. Hopefully we get a good... I want it to end up being fairly symmetrical, because I think that would help the OCD/ADD going on. I don't know. It would really help me, I think. And show that I'm a bit of a football genius, which is not true, but might be if we... Who's up here? Is that Shirky? What are you doing, mate? Come hang out with your mates. 56% possession, 7 shots to 1. Pretty happy with that start, as long as we can carry it on. Here is a corner chance after 28 minutes. Swung in by Kamada, headed away a second time. We need to work on our corners, because they are not great. Here's Shirky in the box, getting fouled by someone. I want to say Santi Cazorla. Who is Santi CV? I just want to say Santi Cazorla. Let's call him Cazorla. Referee's going to check VAR. Let's hope for a penalty, because that would be a great start to the season if Ivan Toney could get a penalty. I'd love that. Here he comes. It's a penalty. It is a penalty. We have got the penalty. The referee pointed to the spot. Ivan Toney to take with his 19 penalty taking. I think he missed one last night. I'm recording this on the 9th of April. Maybe he missed one yesterday? Doesn't miss this one though. It's 1-0. Our first goal of the season, of course. Ivan Toney, that makes sense. And from the penalty spot, I'll take that. Good start, really. I mean, we're in control, which is what you want to see. I guess it is fairly lucky that we've drawn, firstly at home, and a recently promoted side. But, we still have to do it. We still have to get there and perform. And looks like we are. I mean, the XG is now heavily weighted in our favour thanks to the penalty. But the possession's in our favour. Corners, the chances have been pretty content with that. As long as we can, what is it? Begin as you mean to go on? I've struggled with this saying before, because I can't remember what it is. And if it is just begin as you mean to go on, it just feels, when I say it at least, not that meaningful. Because it just sounds like words. What's happening on the right side here? Why is everything on the left hand? Anyway, it's half time. We're up 1-0. I'll take it. What happens if we pump fists? Yeah, we're capable of better. We know we are. We showed it last season. We are capable of better than this. Capable of just taking control of the game. I'll hit them with another praise because they have been very good, but we're capable of taking control of the fixture and not leaving them with a sniff, basically. I just looked completely left of the camera. I don't know if anyone saw that, but don't go back and look. We are 51 minutes in. Look, I'm happy with a nice, comfortable performance. It's been all us in terms of highlights, and the chances look like that's the story that's being told here. I would like the pass map to look a bit nicer, but at the same time, as long as we're winning, basically, that's all I care about. We're about 60 minutes in. Let's make some subs. Alright, who can come off? Norgard's looking a bit tired. Who do we have on the bench? We have a Matthijs Jensen. Yeah, Jensen can come on. Who do we bring on? Let's bring on Aaron Hickey for Nico Williams, because I like Aaron Hickey the most of our wide backs, basically. Just because he just gets on with it. He doesn't complain. He doesn't tell me that he's not used to playing that position. He just listens, does his job. And life's good. We'll ignore that instruction because it got us through last season. I don't care, mate. 14 shots on target. I mean, shots in general. Goodness me. It's later at night than I would usually record. Here is a free kick chance from Daishi Kamada. Outside the box. Will he cross it? Will he shoot? Crosses it towards Madsbæk Sorensen. Saved by Sepe. Jan Elt now. Another save by Sepe. Bloody hell. That was very good. I'm not sure what the strengths really are of Madsbæk Sorensen. I guess we'll learn to, see what he is good at. As he nearly scores from a corner. That would have been fantastic if he had scored from that corner, but not quite. Long throws is something he's good at. I haven't set up long throw tactics or anything, but perhaps I should, just because he's available. But then I don't want them to do them without him, basically. Who do we have now? We could bring on Balogun or something like that, but I think we bring on an Evan and Deke who can come on for Madsbæk Sorensen. Yeah, we'll bring on Brian and Buemo for Damsgaard and move Shirky to the left-hand side. And then last change, we don't really have another one, do we? I mean, what I want to do is change Daichi Kamada, but I don't really have someone that I want to put there, if that makes sense. Alright, let's do it. Let's take Kamada off, and Ryan Shirky can play through the centre. Why not? And following Balogun can come on to make his debut on the left-hand side. Why damn not? Would love to have obviously been giving Ekelenkamp his debut, as we've got another highlight here. But obviously not to be with his injury. Balogun, almost, that would have been sensational. What a start that would have been to his career for a player that I very much talked down his importance and how much he's going to contribute to the side. Would have been pretty damn good. We'll see. 10 minutes to go. It's not looking good. It's looking like we're going to concede a last-minute equaliser, and we should have had away with the game. I'm not liking that these two players are so close together. I would like to see this player move up the pitch and this guy go even further back down even. But again, if we're controlling the game, if we're controlling the chances and not conceding many, as we come on now. No words. Absolutely no words. It is one of those games where you just have chance after chance after chance and it just doesn't happen. You just only have one. It's from a penalty. I'm absolutely livid. Are you serious? Step up more. Man. 90th minute equaliser. Levaya. It's Calvin Stengs with the free kick. Swung towards the far post. Levaya with a big header over the top of Alban Lafont. And it is 1-1. Yes, I'll make those goddamn tactical changes. Are you serious? 22 shots to 4. 3.45 bloody XG. Here we go. Shirky with the corner to the back post. Headed away maybe. Balogun! Get in there! Get in there! Following Balogun, his debut. It is a winner in the 93rd minute. Oh my god, you legend. I've been saying that he's not going to be that great. I've been saying that I'm not that excited about his signing. But the free transfer from Arsenal has given us the 3 points on the opening day. That is absolutely sensational. You absolute legend. That is... Get in there. We deserve the win. We deserve that. You cannot say we didn't. So, an epic, basically. Alright, not so much. Really, we threw everything we could at them in the last 3 minutes, and it happened to come off this one at time. Where we usually, you'd say that you got FM'd there. But basically, they just nipped a last-minute equaliser, but we ruined the party with Follerin. Why do I keep going to say Florian? Follerin, Balogun, getting the last-minute winner. Absolutely, I'm beaming for him. That's fantastic. He's one player of the match for as well. You stud, you absolute legend. Next video, we will come back for this game here away at Southampton. Southampton away day, heading down south about, I don't know, what is it, 90 minutes or something? I don't remember. It was... we were planned on going there when we were in England a few weeks ago. Can't remember. I'm going to say 90 minutes though. Obviously around this time there will be plenty of Champions League football as well, so I think what we'll do is play this game against Southampton just because I can guarantee that that's what it'll be, because I don't know what fixtures in the Champions League we will get. But by that video, we'll then know what the next thing can be, and somewhere here in January, we'll then come back for the Champions League in the following video. Anyway, that is all for today's video though. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Thank you, Arsenal, for giving us Balogun and giving us the 3 points there. Until next time when we go again, hopefully led by more winners for Balogun. Maybe. Peace.